Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com, setting the record straight about the New York Times. This tweet from the New York Times yesterday did a good job of summing up the Orwellian world which we're immersed in right now. Here's what they wrote. One hashtag and a Trump typo is a crash course in how to rally supporters around a conspiracy theory while neutering the attempts of social media companies to stop it. A network of right-wing operatives and activists and the president himself spread disinformation about Joe Biden with one simple hashtag. So the New York Times is promoting a conspiracy theory about the president of the United States secretly communicating with right-wing activists via a Twitter hashtag. In other words, they're promoting their own conspiracy theory in a tweet designed to ridicule the term conspiracy theory. This is some pretty remarkable low-grade Orwellian propaganda. Let's look now at some of the other things which the New York Times is saying in this tweet. The New York Times is also promoting the idea that social media companies should be censoring the President of the United States and limiting his ability to speak to the American people. This is a quite open conspiracy by the New York Times and social media against the President of the United States and against his supporters. And for the past 4 years, the New York Times has been actively engaged in one effort after another to bring down the President of the United States. The New York Times is one of the chief perpetrators of the Russia collusion hoax, which was designed to interfere with the 2018 election and put Democrats in control of the House of Representatives. That effort was successful, and once Nancy Pelosi was in charge of the House of Representatives, she was able to engage in one activity after another designed to undermine the President of the United States, all supported heavily by the New York Times. This included a completely fraudulent impeachment and a completely fraudulent effort to undermine a Supreme Court nominee. This coup against the President of the United States has been very visible. We've been watching saturation bombing of disinformation against the President for the past 4 years by the press and social media. But the quite open conspiracy against President Trump by the New York Times, social media, and many other members of the press is not really a coup against the President. It's a coup against the American people, and it's a coup against democracy. 150 years ago, Frederick Douglass wrote, "To suppress free speech is a double wrong. It violates the rights of the hearer as well as those of the speaker. It is just as criminal to rob a man of his right to speak and hear as it would be to rob him of his money." The open sedition of the New York Times and social media against the President of the United States is unlike anything I've ever seen during my lifetime. After spending 4 years attempting to undermine the results of the 2016 election, Democrats, the press, and social media are actively working to undermine the 2020 election.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
The New York Times has done a very good job demonstrating that most Democratic voters are incapable of thinking for themselves and will believe whatever Orwellian doublespeak is put in front of their face. In 1980, William Casey, the CIA director, said, "We will know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false." But they've only succeeded with half of the population because the internet came along and made it possible for honest people to communicate directly to large audiences. Open communication and free speech is the last thing which the press and social media wants to see, so they've been engaged in a very active effort to censor the President of the United States. The press is supposed to be the defenders of free speech, but they've become its worst enemy, silencing the president, silencing climate skeptics, and silencing just about anyone who tells the truth about important topics. The good news is that this has opened up opportunities for people like me who bring factual information to a hungry public. Toto and Kyrie are busy every day bringing accurate information to people around the world. You can visit them on the web at realclimatescience.com.